Welcome, one and all, to another online battle. This one's going to be a 2v2 land battle with a bunch of randoms. I myself am playing as the Chaos Warriors, Warriors of Chaos, Chaos Men of Dreams. My ally is also playing as the Chaos Men of Dreams. And we're facing off against the Dwarves and Bretonnia. So we've got a bit of a Chaos invasion going down. And I'm married up against the Bretonnians. And then the Dwarves are on the other side against my ally. They're already popping off their grudge throwers. So to this party I brought a Doom Cannon, a couple of Dragon Ogre Shaggoths, some Throwing Axe Cavalry. This is like some of the only ranged units you get on the Chaos Warriors. I got some Halberds to protect them, in case any of those flying Pegasus bastards come along. I did bring a few anti-large units to deal with all the horses of Bretonnia, because they are pretty much a horse faction. Then I've got some Chaos Warriors with great weapons. These guys are going to be my main attacking infantry. The point I tried to make was on having armor piercing, so all of my units, bar maybe these guys, have armor piercing, because I wanted to deal with those dwarves effectively, and you can't do that really without armor piercing. I've got Kolek Sun Eater as the big man himself, so he's pretty devastating. So yeah, that's most of my army. My enemy is bringing over some Pegasus units at the moment. He's gunning for my Doom Cannon, because I've landed a couple of shots off on some of his knights. So he flies those in. I try to get my axe throwers on him as quick as I can. They're about the only thing that can hit them when they're in the air. I line up some halberds to get him as well, because they can hopefully tie him up. Get the dragon shaggoths in there as well. Try to protect my Doom Cannon as much as possible. Whoa, smashed a Pegasus Knight there. I get the halberds there just in case, just to deter him. Anyway, this is his army. He's got some Knights of the Realm over here. There's some pretty cool looking guys. Got a bunch of polearms, men-at-arms. Most of his units, well, the only melee units you can get on Bretonnia is all pretty much just polearms. They don't have any sword infantry or anything. Like I said, they're a horsey faction. So we've got lots of those to deal with, which is probably a wise choice by him to bring anti-large, given that there's a lot of large on the Chaos faction. He also has some Grail Knights who look pretty damn cool with their shiny weapons. So they're pretty dangerous. But me and him pretty much just had a stalemate for the first part of the battle, where we just stared each other down. So let's see what's going on over here. This is the Dwarves and the Chaos. It looks like my ally has pretty much flanked him right round. He's going right round. He's got some Chaos spawn. These ugly, ugly motherfuckers. They are not sexy. So yeah, it looks like he's trying to employ some sort of plan rather than just attacking them head on. The Dwarves have holed up in some kind of defensive formation. They've got a lot of pistols, some hammers, some iron breakers, a lot of grudge throwers, who are... they're not really that great. I'm not sure why he bought so many. This guy's got some Chaos Knights chasing off some of the skirmisher cav. Oh, he's about to catch him. He's about to catch... oh, he called it off. Where did he call it off? It looked like he was just about to catch them. These guys are pretty freaking cool. So my ally plays a tentative game against the Dwarves. Probably wise, because they're pretty tough. However, the Dwarven ally is making a curious move at the moment. He's sending out his skirmishers all by themselves, which is a very dangerous game to play. I don't know why he didn't just send a bit of cavalry just to support them, to keep them safe, because I'm going to bring my cavalry in. I'm going to charge him down. He's firing on my Doom Cannon though, which somehow he actually manages to get. He's firing like, what, 3 volleys? My Doom Cannon's got a pair of testicles on it, apparently. And he blows it up with arrows. And it's still got like half of its life left. So Doom Cannons can be beaten by about 4 arrows. The Pegasus Knights did come in and hit it once earlier, but it still seems a little bit too easy to take down a cannon with some arrows, but oh well. Turned out to be a good play by him. I did chase them off and got a charge in on those arrows a little bit, but his Pegasus Knights flew over, so I aborted. Looks like my ally has just lost his Doom Cannon as well, so he's moving up. The Dwarves have still got their grudge throwers left, but it looks like they've used up a lot of their ammo, and they were only firing at the Doom Cannon, so they've used up nearly 3/4 of their ammo just firing that one Doom Cannon. Probably a massive waste. So questionable shooting, it seems. It looks like he's starting to move his knights around a bit more now. He's moving in for his rear attack. Meanwhile, the Pegasus Knights are back, but they don't seem to want to do anything. He flies them over, and then they just hover there. I send my axe throwers over to just try and do a little bit of damage if we can, but he flies off just in time. I continue to chase him anyway. So I have to find a way to avoid all these spears. I don't want to get these into my dragon shaggoths, otherwise they might bring him down. This is his general on a flying mount, Frederino. That's the name of the player, not the name of the lord. Dwarves are still holing up. He's got some Chaos Warhounds into the back of them. I really should have bought some of them myself, actually, the Chaos Warhounds. They would have been great for taking out those archers. They would have run them down in a second. But alas, I didn't. See, that's the thing. I opted to bring more melee infantry. I didn't really bring any large, apart from the Dragon Shaggoths. And my ally did kind of the opposite, which is good and bad. Depends who we faced. I probably would have been better facing the dwarves because I've got all the armor piercing. Although if my ally faced Bretonnia, then he would have had to deal with all the anti-large. And he's got a giant here, he's got a wizard, he's got that cavalry, he's got the chaos spawn, so he's got quite a bit of large stuff. But anyway, he's pressing his attack. He's getting a little bit cut down by all the handgunners. He's cast a spell, which the hammer has appeared to be running into. They're getting thrown about like ragdolls. He's starting to attack from the rear as well. He's got all his chaos spawn coming in. Ooh, those missile cav just caught a nasty charge from chaos cav. They're not going to do too well against them. The iron breakers are throwing their bombs as well. Look at them all going everywhere. Giants in there now, starting to mess up some dwarven faces. Bretonnian cavalry's around, so I start to move my army up now as well. As I see my ally attacking, I think it's probably best to attack both at the same time, otherwise you can end up in a 2-on-1. So I start to march my main line up, my main infantry. I'm just going to charge them up straight into all these spearmen, because in all honesty they're not going to do too well against my melee units. The dwarf thunderers, they're even holding up quite well. The chaos giant's in there, he's got 24 kills, make it 25. Got the iron breakers there. He's got a lot of chaos spawn over here. They all seem to be concentrating on 2 units. He's probably missing some flanking opportunities here. He could come around and hit these cavalry. This one's perfect. Look at that. He could just bring bang straight in the back of those with the chaos spawn. That would be beautiful. That would help him a lot. Fortunately, he doesn't see it. And it looks like a lot of his melee units are going home. Even his chaos marauders are going. The giant's still doing alright. He's still got plenty of health. In the meantime, I'm just about to reach here, so I wanted to make him think that I was charging my Dragon Shaggoth straight into his front lines. But what I secretly did is at the last minute told them to go and attack those cavalry stood off to the right, because I knew he probably wouldn't move them in time if I did it kind of at the last minute. And they got a few kills. See, they bash a few skulls in before he goes, oh shit, they're attacking him. So he runs them out of the way. He tries to get some anti-large into me. I do my best to actually avoid those anti-large. You'll see me just pull them away from them at the time. The last thing I want to do is fight those anti-large, so I'm letting them just chase down those cav as much as possible before I get them out of the way. Over here the Pegasus Knights are doing something. They were trying to get rid of my cav. I just got some halberds into them. The main lines are up and running anyway. Kolek's here. He's taking some heads. Oh, good shot, mate. Good effort. So this front line battle shouldn't be a problem for me at all. My units should cut through their spearmen, no problemo. He's got his general in there. This is the point where I decide to try and nail his general. I tell all my Dragon Shaggoths, including Kolek. Oh, he's got a nice charge there. Charge my chosen warriors. Yeah, I told all my Dragon warriors to get on his general, to try and get his general dead as quick as possible, so we start hammering him down. Because once we get him down, you know everyone's going to start falling. Because these Dragon Ogres cause terror as well, so they scare units off. So combine that with a dead general. You've got some scared Bretonnians, my friend. So far, so good. All the meanwhile, my ally's pretty much done. His giants just routed. Most of his melee units are gone. His chaos spawn are still going though. They're not giving up too easy. I've just managed to kill the enemy lord, so that's always good news. He's bringing his Pegasus Knights in, who are not equipped to deal with a Dragon Shaggoth. Bad move, bad move. He's also got his horses into my halberds, which is the last thing you want to do. These are anti-large units. That's what they're designed to take out. You don't charge horses into them. That's crazy talk. You should be trying to get into the axemen, if anything. So most of his units are going home for Christmas. I'm just going to reform. His units aren't completely done though. The thing about terror is that it causes units to rout for a short time, as it says on there. So they do come back. They're not completely routed. So I'm just going to reform my army, try to get ready, because I know that this lot are probably going to reform as well, so they're not completely out of the question yet. The dwarves are just finishing off the chaos. Oh, the chaos spawn, the last chaos spawn, no! He's gone down. Oh no, there's more over there. It's okay, it's okay, he's still got more chaos spawn. Can still do some damage. He's also got some chaos spawn right over here. I'm not sure he's realised they've done a runner. Must have been chasing someone off. feel like smashing some people in. This is actually a really nice map for a land battle. It's not too hilly or anything, it's just a few nice little brows, but the map is generally quite smooth and the mountains in the background looks really nice. It's a really comfy map to play, this one. Anyway, myself and Bretonnia have reformed. I'm charging into them once again. He doesn't have a lot left though, mostly skirmishers. They're not going to be much of a match for these chosen, because these are a brutal unit. Let's watch these poor fellas get chopped into pieces. Oh dear. So these are my strength at the moment, is my dragon ogres. He's got a paladin or something here. Busting a few of my chosen warriors' heads. Oh, there goes one of them. The power bar at the top is actually still even at the moment. So it's anyone's game. The Pegasus Knights, I'm not sure what he was doing over here. He had 5 units, all attacking 1 unit of halberds, and 4 of his units were large units. Like I said earlier, you don't try to kill anti-large with large. They could have been attacking these guys. These guys aren't anti-large. You would have destroyed them if he was attacking them for that long with 4 units. But no. Fool of a took. So he's going to try and get rid of them. The rest of my army, though, seems to be reforming now. His army's about to run out the battlefield, so they'll be done for good once they leave. And then it's just me and the dwarves. So even those are managing to rout some of these Knights of the Realm with the chosen warriors. So that's pretty sweet. The dwarves all the while have reformed. Bretonnia is sending his last units over there. There's still one more chaos spawn going. A couple of more chaos spawns still alive. So Bretonnia is regrouped with the dwarves now. This is what my ally should have done. He should have taken his leftover routing units and brought them over to my army. But he just kept taking them back. And you can even see on the radar there the blue dot. That's his general. So his general's still alive and he's on horseback. So he could run him over here before he gets killed. I'm going to fast forward a bit of this because it's just standing around while I wait for all my units to get back. And we prepare for the onslaught. So you can see over here, this is his general, who's now being attacked by Pegasus Knights. He's been stood there for a while. You really should have just ridden his general, because he's a wizard as well, so he would have been really useful. He could have just stood behind my lines and just popped off spells all over the place, taken out some dwarves. It probably would have helped us in the end game a lot. But fair play to my ally though, Go Skate 10. He's done quite a bit of damage in this one. He's certainly beaten the crap out of the dwarves, which is going to make them potentially manageable for me. They do have a lot more troops left, if you look at it. I've still got my dragon, shagoth, ogre, bastard, hell, death men. But apart from that, we're looking thin on the men. All my boys are armor piercing though. This is the moment they've all been waiting for. This is why I bought them, for the dwarves. Oh, he's still got some rock throwers though. They did a nice hit there. So I decided to split off into 2 groups. One to attack from the left and one to attack from the right. The idea behind this was to try and avoid as much of his missile fire as I could. Obviously I'm not going to really avoid it, but if I can stop him focus firing by being split up, I thought it might help, because then one of the sides won't get shot at really, and they'll have a lot more chance of getting to them unharmed. That was the plan anyway. He's got Erngrim Iron Fist as his lord. He's got some Iron Breakers left. More Iron Breakers. He's got the Handgunners, or the Thunderers actually, not Handgunners. Thinking of the Empire. So this is it. The final push. It all comes down to this. The final countdown for my men. I start to give them the attack order. They do a weird running to the right thing. You see it there. Don't know why they did that. Some odd pathing. But there we go. So moving up. Moving both lines in. As you can see, they've got a lot more of a force than we do. But they're very run down, as are we. But I think we've got more whole units kind of still alive. Well, so I say that, I look at them now, there's only like 1 whole unit. The other 2 are beaten down. These 3, there's got like 3 units which are still in good shape. One of them being the Chosen, who are a pretty brutal unit. So I'm hoping they're going to do a lot of damage here. All these units are armor piercing, like I said, so we shouldn't have too much trouble chopping off some dwarf heads. So we'll have to see how it plays out. At this point though, it's pretty much fair game. They've got more units, but I think we've got better units, I'm going to say. Because they don't have any anti-large. Oddly, this guy has faced 2 chaos armies and not brought any slayers. His one anti-large unit, which are designed for bringing it. Like if he had some slayers, those chaos spawn would have gone down. he would have been able to deal with these dragon ogres, but no, not one unit of slayers. Madness. Anyway, I decided to charge up my dragon ogres because they have scaly skin, which means they don't take that much damage from missile fire or all these bombs. See how many bombs are landing on this dragon ogre? Let me show you his health. Barely lost any health from all that. So yeah, I charged them in to try and protect the rest of my men, my infantry. He's getting some horses in there. I'm going to get my halberds onto them. They'll stab the crap out of them. Kolec's going mental on the only anti-large unit there is. They're about to rout. So at this point I'm just trying to charge everyone about everywhere. My Chosen are about to get into some pistol men, handgunners, thunderers, whatever the hell they're called. So this is it. We're engaging now. They've got some hammerers left, some dwarf warriors, lots of thunderers. My dragon ogres are just going all over the place. They're smashing people up. I tried to keep my dragon ogres moving, so not to let anyone settle down. Like I didn't want to let his thunderers settle down and get off any shots, so I kept running my dragon ogres all over the place in different areas, just to try and disorientate him a little bit. Got some of these Forsaken left as well. They're still alive, dealing out some damage. They've got Frenzy, which I assume works the same as in previous games, where they just lose their mind and you can't control them. Got my dragon ogres together now, smashing in some dwarves. I think this is where I decided to try and kill their general, Erngrim Iron Fist. Yeah, you see him on the floor just getting trampled there. You see him getting up. I thought the obvious, if I can get their general dead, the rest of those units are just going to crumble, because I was pretty confident at this point. My men were doing okay dealing with the dwarves, but they still did have a lot of units left just running around. His thunderers have set back up there, so you can see this is what happens because I'm not attacking those thunderers with my dragon ogres. They can settle and they're shooting at me, so I had to just settle for that and let it happen for a bit while I tried to get Erngrim Iron Fist dead, bashing his frickin' face off. He's trying his hardest, bless him. He's only got 601 health left. He's still got some units though. The Pegasus Knights are still around. They just won't die, probably because they're flying, I guess. So there's still a few dwarves left. Coming down to the wire. He's got 1 health. Oh, down he goes. He has no health now. So Erngrim Iron Fist is deceased. We've taken him to town. It's pretty much just down to my dragon ogres now though. My Chosen are still fighting, but they're surrounded. So it's coming down to the wire. But all my dragon ogres, they do still have a lot of health. So I'm not really in any danger of them dying just yet. The Chosen are still fighting their asses off. Kolec's got plenty of health. This dragon ogre's nearly dead. Pegasus Knights are coming in now. Kolec's not happy with those Pegasus Knights. Come here, you bastard. Not having it. Not having it. I did notice though that this guy has this unit here, the Men-at-Arms, Bretonnian unit of anti-large. The one unit that can take down dragon ogres. And he's not telling them to attack. Oh, now he is. They've just started to attack and they've just started to rout at the same time. Like, he just had them stood there for about 5 minutes. The one unit that could stop me was watching the fight. Come on, guys. Anti-large kill big things. I even bashed on my desk in furiosity. Is that a word? Probably not. Ferocity, I think is the word I'm looking for. Either way, dragon ogres smashing in the remaining dwarves. It's not looking good for the dwarves. The Chosen have just arrived as well to finish up the middle group of dwarvies. And the blue flags start turning white. That can only mean one thing. It means the dwarvies got scared and it came down to the dragon ogres and the Chosen. My strongest units. A Pyrrhic victory, but a victory nonetheless. Good one. It was a good one. I enjoyed that. We had a good game. My partner did well. He did well to damage the dwarves quite a bit. Let's have a look at some kills. Kolec, of course, got plenty of kill. Well, the Forsaken actually did really well. They got 100 odd kills. The Chosen, of course, they're the ones. They're the men. They're the MVP. 150 kills. The utter beasts. Those Marauders did pretty much fuck all. To be fair, they were tied up with Pegasus Knights most of the time, though. Doom Cannon got a few kills before it got taken out by arrows. Everyone else did a fairly standard amount of kills. Well, 70 kills, that's a good amount of kills. The Dwarves, Grudgesaw's got not that many kills for their price. Iron Drakes, of course, got a lot of kills. Thunderers got most of their kills. So yeah, there you go. Chaos versus Dwarves and Bretonnia. Chaos is victorious this day. To reflect upon this battle, I think I did pretty damn well. My army selection was good. It worked out. It could have gone very wrong if I was faced up against the dwarves. Well, not wrong, but I think I would have had a tougher time, and maybe it would have been the other way around, and my ally would have been the one that survived and had to fight at the end. But my armor-piercing units would have done pretty well against the dwarves, I think. and I pretty much destroyed the Bretonnians, to be honest, because all they really had was polearms and men-at-arms, which aren't really going to do much against chosen warriors and all these heavy sword units. And I think he anticipated that I'd bring a lot of large, because most people probably do with the Chaos Warriors. They have some great large units like the Chaos Spawn that the other guy was using. But unfortunately for him, I didn't bring any of those. I brought all the infantry, a couple of Dragon Ogres, and if he just tried to focus those spears on the Dragon Ogres, he probably could have brought them down, which would have really changed the game. But I guess my melee attack didn't really allow for that. And as Bretonnia are a cavalry faction, he probably would have done well to bring more cavalry, because he could have hammer and anviled the crap out of me while I was attacking his spearmen, which would have really done a lot of damage and, again, might have changed the game. My ally did pretty well to attack the dwarves though. He attacked from two sides, he didn't just run straight at them. He maybe could have tried to soak up a bit of the missile fire with some of his cheaper units, but I guess he did what he did. But he did okay, he did enough damage for us to get the win. So it's all good. The dwarves brought far too many grudge throwers and no slayers. Big mistakes right there. You can't face the Chaos Warriors and not bring any anti-large units. That's just absolute insanity, I tell you. And I think he was maybe trying to hide behind the dwarves' high armor and stuff a little bit. He could have been a bit more offensive. He could have brought some better units. Those Iron Breakers, while they do have those blast packs, which are okay, they're not as strong as Hammerers. Hammerers are a stronger unit generally. So he probably would have been better off bringing more Hammerers than he did Iron Breakers. But other than that, the end of the battle pretty much came down to the strength of my Dragon Ogres and their ability to move around quickly and just disorientate and beat down everyone in sight. Obviously the Chaos Warriors and the Chosen also helped. I did have a couple of missed opportunities though. I could have taken out those archers when they were in the open field, and I should have stopped them destroying my Doom Cannon, so I messed that one up. My cavalry didn't really do anything either. They just got tied up. I should have tried better to get them away, but there you go. You live, you learn. Now I'll see you good people later, and thanks for watching. And remember, if you want to take down large units, you take anti-large, boy. Take it, or you'll end up like this chick.